Hey y'all, it's Wednesday, and we got the last 2 weeks of school going on around here. And you know what happens the last 2 weeks of school? The green beans come in. Lots of green beans. Stephen snapped out 4 quarts for me last night. He's really sweet about doing that. It helps me out a lot. And I'm going to can them. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's easier to freeze them. I don't have room in my freezer. So we have a lot of, hunting, fishing, fair animals that kids raise around here that we purchase. So I can them. I'll always can them. I just don't like them frozen. I've already got some in jars. I even have some that I have filled. And I'm going to show you how I do that this morning. I'm going to use pint jars this year. I've usually used quart in the past, but a pint jar is just right for me and Steven for one meal. So my jars have been sitting in the sink with some hot water in them. You really don't have to do that because we're going to pressure can, which is going to kill everything. I do put them through the dishwasher and the sanitizing cycle and then store them upside down on paper towels in the area where I keep all of my canning. These pints I'm using, they're probably my grandmother's that she used for years and years. And I've checked them for cracks and nicks. You don't want to can anything where there's any nicks on the rim because it's not gonna seal. And if you have any cracks in your jars, the pressure canner, that jar is gonna break. I like this because I just pack these down in here raw. Just lay them down in there, and I kind of press down as I go, and so I can get a lot of green beans in this jar. Get a few more here. I think I have enough to do 8 pints because I had almost 4 quarts of green beans. So I've got them packed down in here. I'm going to come down here so y'all can see this. All right. And I'm using kosher salt. I'm going to put 1/2 teaspoon for a pint. If I was doing a quart, I'd put a whole teaspoon. You can use canning salt, just don't use regular salt because it's got additives in it. And then we're going to add boiling water. So I've got a pot of boiling water. I've got my Tattler lids in boiling water. I use the Tattler lids because I can reuse them from year to year. You can use the metal lids, but they're only good once. Hopefully in the long run, it will save me money. I got a little trial set a few years ago, and they work really well. The seal lasted, well, I think I had canned a year previously, and so, the seal didn't break. So you want to make sure there's no bubbles down in here. And if you add your water slow enough, you really don't have that problem. Sometimes I'll mash them down a little bit. There. I want to check for my 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch headspace on these. Okay. Now I got my new tongs, because with these Tattler lids, you gotta have tongs long enough to reach down. Oh, I need to wipe my rim, make sure I don't have any salt on my rim. Here. And I'm gonna put my rubber gasket there, and get the plastic lid. Now the plastic, even though it's in boiling water, really isn't that hot because it does not conduct the heat like metal conducts heat. So I don't tighten it too much because I need the air to come out. And I'm going to put it over here in my canner. I've already got a few in here that I've done this morning. And there's no water in this canner. Not yet. So once it's full and I'm ready to go, I'm going to pour this water in the canner, and it fills it up about 2 inches worth. You don't want to put water in there beforehand and let hot water sit, because that metal conducts that heat, and you end up with the expanded metal bottom and can't get your lid on because your lid's cold. This is the lid to the canner. If anyone ever offers to give you something like this, take it. These are really expensive to buy in the store. They're normally over $100. This is a Presto Deluxe. It's the kind you put it on and just turn it. My grandmother gave this to me, oh goodness, 30 years ago maybe. She bought it from a friend of hers who was having a garage sale, and it was brand new and still had the box and the instruction book and everything. You always want to check the vent hole to make sure there's nothing obstructing it. Check the safety valve, make sure that it's not crumbling. You want to make sure that this little thing that shows you that there's pressure or not in there, up and down. There's a weight that once you are ready, you have everything in the canner, you've got the water, and you turn the fire on. There's a weight that's going to go here. After you get steam coming through here, then you'll put the weight on. Now with the green beans, you want to can them at 10 pounds of pressure for 15 minutes. So when this little thing pops up, then the needle will start to rise. And when it gets to 10 pounds, I start my timer for 15 minutes. And I have to watch it because I don't want it to go below and I don't want it to go above. So I adjust the fire, and it finally gets to the point where it'll stay there, you know, for those 15 minutes. So it's really an easy process. You don't have to blanch anything. Just boil your water, get your lids, your jars. The canner's gonna sterilize everything. You're not having to boil your jars. I do like to have them hot, but putting boiling water in them, I've never had a problem with them breaking. So if you got green beans or you find some at a farmer's market and you want to put them up, they taste so much better than what you buy in the store. When we started this COVID thing, I had 15 quarts of green beans left from last year because I think I did 30 quarts last year. So, you know, it's a good thing to have in times like these. You don't have to worry about food when you can and freeze and dehydrate. Some people like to do that. So, I hope y'all have been able to get your hair cut. Sheila, I'll be coming to see you sometime soon. Get this mop taken care of. This is the longest it's ever been, so it's all going to be okay. Make you some green beans. Add some bacon. Add some onions. I like to add a little vinaigrette to it. Adds a little fancy, makes it a little fancy. So, hope y'all take care and are staying well. And it's all going to be all right. Bye, y'all.